Hey guys, and welcome back to another DIY shaker magnet kit tutorial. This one is going to be our plant mom kit. There are 3 different plant magnets on the inside. Alright, so the first one we're going to start off with is the Lilly of China plant. That's what we're calling this one. And then this one is going to be our snake plant. And then this one is going to be the Monstera one. So here are the contents provided in this DIY kit. You have your foam tape, your glitter spoon, your glue, as well as your 3 different plants and your glitter. So you have your blue glitter for all the vases, as well as 2 different green options you can use interchangeably between any of the 3 plants as you wish. So let's get started. Like always, we're going to start off with our magnet backing and peel off the paper just a little bit. And then we're going to take our background piece. In this case, it is a champagne color, but it might not be for you depending on when we give out the kits. Peel that backing paper off and finish centering it. Then we're going to take our glue bottle, and yours will be smaller, but this is what mine looks like. We're going to flip it upside down. So you'll know that this is the right side up by all these indentations on here. See if I can zoom a little bit. You'll flip it over and glue the background. Center it on your backing piece. And push it down. So we're going to kind of dry fit these tiny pieces first to make sure that they are pointed in the right direction. You want to just line it up, and that is wrong. So we're going to flip it over and match it up correctly. Put just a string of glue across, and then put it right on top. Then we'll do the same here. And it looks like that matches up well. Just put glue right on there and stick it down. There are Sharpie marks on your acetate. This lets us know if their protective cover is still on it. So this is not symmetrical, and we're going to line it up to make sure that we're peeling off the right side. So there's a little bit on that edge, which means it's upside down. Make sure that lines up. You're just going to glide your thumb across the edge of it, and it should lift up your cover paper. You will turn this upside down and go ahead and glue it. Then we will center this on your acetate. I like to set it down and put my fingers across all the lines to make sure that they're pressed. You flip it upside down and you can see all the glue that's stuck on there. And now for the foam tape. This one we're going to start out a little bit different than we normally do. We're going to start at the top of this planter so we can cut the least amount. You want to leave a little bit of space here so that when we go back up and around, there's enough to fit your foam tape in there. So you'll put it straight across, and then you're going to hold down with one thumb and pull with the other to break the paper. Once you do that, you can turn the corner, and then just keep doing that all the way around your magnet. Push with your thumb, pull with your other hand to break the paper. There you go. Then once we get to our ends, we're going to overlap it. We're going to overlap it just a little and then cut off the edge. Now, like I said, we have 2 different glitters. There's a darker one and there's a lighter one. You can use whichever you want to in whichever the plants you want to. I think this time I'm going to go with the lighter one. then you will get your little scoop and pour into the top. Remember, don't use all of it because you're going to need it for your other magnets. And then shake it to make sure it's nice and flat. Put the top back on so you don't spill. And then we will get our blue. You also don't want to use all of this in one magnet because you're going to put it in more than one. And then just shake it again to make sure it's all flat. Close it so you don't spill. And we're going to take off the backing paper for both our magnet, foam tape, excuse me, and the acetate. Now you're going to look at your top piece again, and if you still have a mark on there somewhere, you want to make sure to peel off this backing paper. Then we're going to flip it upside down, look from the top, and stick it right on top of there. Sometimes your glitter will kind of get stuck. If you have a needle, it's very helpful to just stick it in there and break everything up or make everything flat. But sometimes you can use your glitter spoon if you haven't closed it all the way and kind of shove it in there to make sure everything is lying as flat as it can be so that you can go ahead and close it. And there is your first magnet. Next, we have our snake plant magnet. So we're gonna, again, peel the top off of the magnet paper as just halfway. Center our backing piece on there, which may not be this color, depending on when you get your kit. We'll lift it up and pull out the backer piece. And push it down. So your next green piece is going to be this one. The best way to figure out which way it goes is to just set it on there, see if it's upside down, but we also have an indent in here for where your pot goes. It's a little bit harder to see in this cardstock, but you just want to glue the outside in the middle and then center it onto your magnet. And your next piece is not quite symmetrical, but it's close enough to where it really doesn't matter which direction you lay it. You'll be able to tell by the feet pieces here, or you can even stick it inside of this hollow space. But like I said, it's not, it's close enough to where it doesn't really matter. What you're gonna do is put glue inside of this hole here. Center this in here. And while that dries, we will do the outline. So we'll go ahead and put it on top of each other so we can figure out which goes where. You want to peel off your backing paper and put glue on the back side of your outline. Now we're going to center this on your acetate. And like last time, I'm going to set it down and put my finger on all of the outlines to make sure it's nice and flat. Foam tape, we're going to do the same thing as we did last time. We're going to start at the top of your planner box. Leave a little bit of space on the side so the foam tape can come back around. You press with your thumb, pull with your other hand to break that paper, and bring it all the way around. So for these, Once you get to your little corner, you're going to press down and pull again, and then it should naturally kind of curve a little bit. You want to use that to your advantage. And then when you put this piece down, you're going to kind of push it a little bit back up, because sometimes it gets really tight and it'll pop off later. And we do not want that, because then your glitter will be everywhere. So just go ahead. It's not focusing very well. Once you rip the paper, just kind of push this a little bit back into there so it's not stretched as much. And then continue with the rest. Once you get to the end, go ahead and overlap it just a little, and then we will cut off the extra. For the glitter, I'm going to use the light one for this one as well. But if you like the darker one better, go ahead and use that. Just remember, you have one more left. The less glitter you put in here, the more it's going to shake. So I think we're good there. And I only have a little bit left in this one, so I'll go ahead and dump that out. Now that we've done the glitter, we're going to peel back all of the backing paper from your foam tape. We're going to check our outline to see if we got a Sharpie mark. Go ahead and peel off your backing piece for that. And then center your top onto your bottom piece. Shake it around, and there is your second magnet. It is too bright out here for me to show you, but there is glow-in-the-dark glitter in this blue. Last but not least, we have our Monstera magnet. So we're going to start at the top again, peeling off the backing paper. Center your bottom piece, which is going to be the same size as the magnet backing. Lift it up and pull back your backing paper. There are a lot of indents on this one too, so you'll be able to tell which side is the front. You're going to flip it over and glue all the outside edges. We will flip that over and center it on your back piece as best you can. And remember, you can always slide it a little bit if it's not exactly perfect, because the glue will not dry all the way. So you will notice that you only have 3 indents in here, but you have 4 pieces here. So your 2 lighter colors are going to be on this, and then your smallest, darkest one will also be on here. So we'll start out by putting some glue here, just a little bit. Then we will line it up and stick that on there. And if you have tweezers, this is a great piece to use tweezers for. And we'll just line that up here. Now, our last dark piece is going to be right on top of your outline. So you will start the edge right where this outline ends. So we'll go ahead and put some glue down. or you can put glue directly on your darker piece. We'll peel the backing paper off of your acetate and put glue on the back of our outline. Center it on your backing piece, and then we're going to set it down, run our fingers across the whole thing. And while that's drying, we'll go ahead and do the foam tape. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging. We're going to start up here as well, and we're going to kind of follow this blue down. So we're going to go at an angle and follow all of this outline. Once you get here, you're gonna kind of curve it all the way to here, like you were doing the leaf. And it's okay if you go a little lower because you won't see it underneath here. Then you'll press down and break the paper here and just go as normal. There are a lot more twists and turns in this one, but it's a little bit more subtle. So you're going to want to really break the paper to make sure that you're getting in the nooks and crannies. Otherwise your foam tape will show on the side. Once you get to the end, you'll just overlap it a little and cut it off. I'm going to go ahead and use the darker glitter for this one. This one has a lot more space, so you can put a lot more in here. And then the blue for the bottom. Make sure it's all flat by shaking it around. Then we're going to go ahead and peel off that backing paper from both this and our acetate. Now we're going to peel off the rest of our backing paper from the acetate and center this on our magnet. Press it all to make sure it's nice and put together. And then if you have some foam tape sticking out, you can use the tip of your scissors, or I like to use my tweezers to kind of just push it back under. While you have it under, press down on the outline and kind of give it a squeeze. You don't want to do it too hard because you'll rip it, but it kind of helps hide that a little. And there you go. Thank you so much for joining me in making this Plant Moms DIY kit. I hope you enjoy. If you guys would like to see this in different colors, let me know in the comments and we'll see if we can make that happen. The links for any other kits, if you're interested, will be in the description, and I hope you guys have a fun time crafting. Bye.